Hey guys, welcome to another episode of TaylorBOTICS, brought to you and sponsored by Duck Doodles. If you have not checked out Duck Doodles at Design at Scale with Mr. Morel, please make sure you go check out my duck buddies. So, with further ado, here is Mr. Taylor.
Hey guys, what's up? Mr. Taylor here for another episode of TaylorBOTICS. Today we are going to be continuing talking about the gyro sensor. I've got a fun program for you guys with the gyro sensor. Got an awesome robotic dog in the background. Shout out to Gavin for sending me all these great backgrounds yesterday. With the big potato, that was Alan. Thanks for sending that. It is National Robotics Week this week. So I'm going to have a different robotic background over there every day. But with further ado, let's head to shoutouts. The one shoutout I have for you today is a website that has all of the information for National Robotics Week on it. I'm going to post a link down below in Google Classroom that'll have access to this site. Now, I probably spent well over an hour on this site today, just looking at various different things. One of the websites I went to was robot.ieee.org, and it has a plethora of robots on there, all different types of robots, from animal robots to humanoid robots to, I found this guy, Albert Hubo. They have a robot that looks like Albert Einstein, and this thing was made in 2005, 15 years ago. Think about how far they've advanced with robots. But that's not the best thing I found on this website. I found a little Easter egg of a great thing that they have this feature coming out. It's called Me and My Robot. And it's a film about all different kids competing with their robots and whatever else around the world, Lego Mindstorms, FLL, different types of things. It's a video about that. I haven't watched the whole film, but I'm excited to watch it. But there is a link in there that I just clicked on, and it has a free 2-week trial virtual robot simulator for the EV3. So I'm definitely going to put that link down in there. So everything that I've been talking about with the creation, with Brock Lesnar, with whatever sensor I've talked about, you can go and try it out. Yeah. Mind blown. So go to that link, try it out. It is incredible. I had to force myself to get off of that so I could come and make this episode of TaylorBOTICS. So that is the shout out, National Robotics Week. I'm going to post different activities. Questions are going to look a little different this week. It's going to have to do with going and researching and doing some stuff on those websites, as well as maybe one question or so about the gyro sensor. Memes for today. I've got two. One I created and one that Mr. Gavin created. We'll start with Gavin's. So his is pretty funny. Star Wars. You can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with Star Wars now. But it has a stormtrooper, and it looks like Palpatine sitting at the desk. It's in a classroom. And it says, "Me and robotics be like," and I guess the stormtrooper got in trouble, so he has to write. He says, "These aren't the droids I'm looking for." In the description, Gavin put in there, he said, "When you pick the wrong EV3 in front of Mr. Taylor." Yeah, because I mean, we had so many EV3s that might, not be feeling up to running programs that day, or didn't want a Bluetooth, or the cord wouldn't work. So I mean, the stormtroopers are sitting there like, oh, I'm in trouble. So that is awesome. Way to go. Shout out, Gavin. The second meme I did, and it was funny because I was actually sitting in the office, and Mrs. Taylor texted me and she was like, are you filming? And I was like, no, I mean, I was trying to work on the code for today. And I had turned on the EV3, and all of a sudden she said, well, check this out. So there's the meme. That is what Riyadh was doing. I must have turned on the EV3 or something, or she probably was just taking a nap in there. But I made this meme, and it says, when Riyadh hears the EV3 turn on, what does she do? She goes and buries her head in the couch. So that's memes for today. Let's go to questions. Our question, one and only question today, comes from the Question King, Noah. He says, is there a sensor that is the same thing as the gyro sensor, but senses vertical rotation? Not for the EV3. There's not a sensor that does the vertical rotation for EV3, but there are multiple gyro sensors that, especially in airplanes, as you can see, hey, I'm in the cockpit of Top Gun. Shout out to Daniel, my pilot fanatic, if he is watching this. He's always doing a flight simulator or something or whatever in my room. But there is a gyro sensor that uses not only the sides, but it tells the vertical. And I think the vertical in a plane is called the pitch. So it senses the pitch of the plane as well as the yaw of the plane, which is the turning side to side, which is what we use the gyro sensor for in the EV3. But then it can also do the roll, which would be another sense of vertical. So you have the pitch, the roll, and then the yaw. So there are sensors like that used. They're called like VGs, vertical gyro. So yes, there are. I wish there would have one, because I mean, then you could, create and do all of that. But so hope that answers your question, Mr. Noah. It is now time for our daily feature. Our daily feature, we're going to continue with the gyro sensor. Yesterday we made it go in a straight line, and I mean, I tried turning it turned right back around to that 0 point. So I'm going to show you guys two programs today. I'm going to show you a program that the gyro sensor can be unreliable if it's not calibrated. So I'm going to show you a very simple program that I use and I run before I use a program with a gyro sensor that will automatically calibrate it. And then I'm going to show you a code to make it go a complete square. And it's funny because in the code, when I show you that, it's not going to be an exact 90-degree angle, because the sensors and the EV3 are that sometimes it might overcorrect it, or it might skip over the value that you want. And I'll explain all of that in the code, and then we will go and test it. And I'm going to test it. You're going to see it's going to run for probably like 2 or 3 minutes. I'll speed it up, but you're going to see how the gyro sensor is great if you're doing 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 turns. But as you keep going in a square, it's gonna kind of like start tilting off, because that's the gyro sensor automatically just measuring the rotations and the angle of that rotation constantly. So let's take a look at the code. All right, guys, here is my code, and I've already got it pulled up, and I just want to walk you through it because to get it to do a 90-degree turn, because I need 4 of those for my square, it's a pretty simple code and I just have my loop. I have it to my tank steering, and I want it to do a right turn. So I want my left motor on, my right motor off. So I have it at 35. And then inside the loop, there are so many options. I'll just pull up another one and show you guys this because I haven't really talked about it a lot. But if you click on the unlimited, you can have it. This is almost like, how is that going to exit the loop? What parameter is it going to have to meet to be able to get out of that loop if you don't want it unlimited? So there is the gyro sensor angle, which is what I'm using. And it has, I mean, you could use all the different other types of sensors on there. But over here, I have the gyro sensor compare angle. So I want it to be greater than or equal to 95 degrees. Now you say, Mr. Taylor, well, I thought you wanted it to do a 90-degree turn. Well, if it's moving this quick and the gyro sensor as well as the EDB3 is running super, super fast, it might overshoot it a little bit. So that's why I have it just under. Now I played with this a few times, started it, maybe at 80, did 75, but 85 seems to be just about right. And then I want it to stop. So this is just one right angle. Now if I click over here, here is my code for the complete program. Now I have a variable that I created that is my 85 degree. That is my angle. Then I have a loop within a loop. So I have my tank on to go. Then I have within here, here is my right turn. And it's kind of backwards. My chords are flipped around. So here's my right turn. And then it goes to my angle. And my angle is going to go within this loop. Then it's going to stop. And I have some math blocks over here that is just going to make sure that everything adds up to 90 degrees here. And it's going to go back on. So it's going to go straight, and then it's going to do a 90-degree angle, stop if everything's right, another 90-degree angle, and keep going straight. So let's take a look and see if this... Oh, I almost forgot. Here's what I do to calibrate the gyro sensor. As you can see down here, say if I turn it all the way over, well, if I want to start it back at 0, I can just simply hit run. Boom, it goes back to 0. And I use, and I'm going to talk about this either tomorrow or Thursday, but the angle and rate to go there, give it a weight block, and then I want it to equal 0. So it's just like forcing it to equal 0. But let's go and test this. All right, guys, so you are able to see that the gyro sensor was able to make it do a 90-degree turn, fairly accurate early on in the program. But as it kept running, the angle shifted just a little bit because that gyro sensor is constantly measuring the rate of the rotation of the angle. So it was able to slightly move off. It was still doing a square, but it was just a little off each time, and it just shifted down. But then when I ran it just that one time at the end, it did that perfect square. So hope that adds some more knowledge about the gyro sensor to your guys' palettes. We are done today. I'm going to give you one question about the gyro sensor, but I'm also going to give you a link to that robots.ieee.org and ask you guys to just find one robot that you like and give me one characteristic about it. I look forward to seeing that. Before I go though, what is this going to be called? Well, it is going to be called the Yeet Machine. What? The Yeet Machine. Yep. No longer the creation. The artist formerly known as the creation is now the Yeet Machine. So, thanks for voting, guys. Hope you enjoy that. And I'll leave you with the Yeet Machine. Have a good one, guys.